The holidays are a time for added cheer and also a little added stress, and that often comes with increased alcohol consumption. According to UCLA Health, alcohol consumption spikes between Thanksgiving and the New Year. For some people, it doubles compared to the rest of the year. Many Americans may fall unknowingly into a category known as a gray area of drinking. Meg Oliver has what you need to know.
When I came up here, I didn't know anyone. I was in the house. It was a long day. It was a long day with just me and the baby.
And you felt isolated?
I did.
Maureen Anderson is a married mother of 4. She says that isolation is part of what led her to drink more frequently.
It became less of an out-of-the-house, special occasion party thing to more of a, at the end of the day, time to have a glass of wine, shut off my brain, relax.
How did you like to drink?
You know, when I was making dinner, I'd pour a glass of wine and
Would that lead to another glass of wine?
yeah, it could be a bottle a night. It could be a little more. It could be less. I could take a night off.
Anderson didn't consider herself an alcoholic, but a gray area drinker. Dr. Akash Shah is the chief of addiction medicine at Jersey Shore University Medical Center.
The term gray area drinker means someone who is drinking more than they'd probably like, but not so much that it's causing external consequences yet.
Is this just another term for alcoholism?
I think the term falls into this gray area because it doesn't yet meet the medical definitions of alcoholism, but I think that risk is there.
Drinking nationwide is on the rise. According to the Journal of Addiction Medicine, during the COVID pandemic lockdown, drinking among women increased more than 50%. And for women with children under 5, it shot up more than 300%.
This is always a time of year where more clients come in.
Nutritionist Jolene Park quit drinking 8 years ago.
This gray area drinking spectrum is real.
She gave a TED Talk on the subject that's been viewed more than 350,000 times. Now she counsels people like herself to stay away from the bottle by eating healthy foods, exercising, and natural relaxation techniques.
How do you know if you're a gray area drinker?
Gray area drinkers can and do stop drinking. It's very, very characteristic. They stop frequently and say, you know, they have a night, they wake up the next morning and say, I can't keep drinking like this.
Go get it. Anderson has gone 2 years without a drink. Come on. And is also now a certified recovery coach, helping other women.
What do you want people to take away from this?
I want women to know that they're not alone, that, you know, we're expected to drink a lot and be okay with it and to deal with it and to feel fine. We really are expected to drink a lot. It's everywhere.
For CBS Mornings, I'm Meg Oliver, Fairfield, Connecticut.
Come here. Give me that.
That is fascinating.
It's really interesting. And I can see why, especially in the early days of the lockdown, when we weren't sure what work was going to look like.
Anxiety, fear, stress.
All of that contributing to people saying, hey, you know what? I normally have a glass of wine at the end of the day. I'm going to have maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah. Then that bleeds into us coming out of the pandemic.
And you still have that habit.
You created these habits.
But it's important to also realize that, like, you know, they have that, what was that saying? If you drink alone, you're an alcoholic, or whatever the actual standard is for alcoholism.
Yeah.
There is a gray area, and it's important to pay attention to it because it
sure.
can be a slippery slope.
Yeah, it's interesting when you go to the doctor and they say, so how many drinks a week do you have? And you're like,
Can you tell the truth?
Well, you don't know if you're in that gray area.
You always put 1.
But the thing is, you don't know. If you say 3 or 4, he's going to say a week, and you're like, no, a month. I meant, you know, because you don't know what that gray area is.
Yeah.
Social drinking. If you tell a doctor that you're socially drinking every week,
yeah,
that's probably not a good thing.
And listen, you know, all jokes aside, if you feel like you're drinking too much, the New Year's around the corner.
Right.
It's a great time to set some resolutions and maybe not drinking as much.
And there are resources for people who feel that they need.